Welcome to From Dirt We Grow. I'm Stephanie Kendall, and this is a off-schedule episode, breaking news episode about Venezuela is the topic tonight, and it's breaking news tonight. We're gonna take a look at what's going on, or talk about what's going on, and I have a guest with me, Mr. Juan Rouse, somebody that I have actually interviewed. He is a congressional candidate that I have recently recorded an episode with that is not published yet. So we're going to hear from him first tonight. So, Mr. Rouse, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here, Stephanie. It's good to be here. I wish it was under nicer circumstances, I guess, but this kind of stuff you can't really pick and choose.
We're going to talk about what's going on right now. So, what can you tell me?
Okay, literally, as of 2 a.m. local time, this is coming straight out from AP. Um, Seven explosions and low flying aircraft were heard around 2 a.m. local time in the capital city of Venezuela, Caracas, and it is being highly insinuated that the United States government is responsible for this attack.
I have heard reports of the kind of the threat of this happening. But did you think it was serious? Did you actually think that this would happen?
I was hoping that this was just smoke and mirrors. I was hoping that this was just bluster. And unfortunately, I guess 2026 is not going to be very nice to us.
Did we declare war at all? Did was there anything?
There has not been a single declaration. When reporters went to the Pentagon's referred all requests to the White House, and when folks went to the White House had no comment. I wish that I could make that up. It's like, oh no, it's not my fault. Talk to them. Oh, we're not saying anything. So what? It is your fault, or what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get a straight answer out of anybody these days, on that front.
It's yeah. There's also attempted calls to U.S. Southern Command, which oversees military operations in South America, and there's been no response from that either. Apparently, also the Federal Aviation Administration has banned U.S. commercial flights in Venezuelan airspace over ongoing military activity, quote unquote. Um, and that was done ahead of the explosions that went off because there were seven different explosions in total that attacked civilian and military installations. This may as well be a declaration of war for the behavior that this is exhibiting. And we need an emergency meeting from Congress now
Uh,
if that's what's going on.
yeah, so, what's if it is us, I'm sure it is, honestly, from my opinion, not saying that it is, but Maduro, what's the next steps? What's gonna happen from here, do you think?
As far as this is going for now, obviously the entire ordeal comes from the accusations made by Donald Trump that Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, is secretly just trying to screw with the American government and is harboring terrorist activities and is harboring drug trafficking coming out of Venezuela, even though there's been no significant evidence to support that claim. So it's literally just been bluster. All Maduro can do right now is try and maintain some form of calm amidst the panic of what's going on out there in the capital city there. Um, he's basically there is a statement that went out um that went out from the Venezuelan government. And it says, people of the streets, the Bolivarian government calls on all social and political forces in the country to activate mobilization plans and repudiate this imperialist attack. End quote. Um, I wish I could put down a number. This was just all happening within the last hour and a half. And this is unfreaking believable. I did not want to believe that this was really going to be the next step, that Donald Trump's illegal attacks on these fishing boats, accusing them of being drug runners without bringing any form of evidence to support it, without requesting any sort of extradition or any sort of cooperation with the Venezuelan government to try and arrest and detain and interrogate these people if
Yeah.
there was any sort of attack. And this is me giving a crap load of benefit of the doubt. That I am very much under the impression that every single one of these attacks that Donald Trump has ordered our military to conduct against these Venezuelan boats out in the middle of the Caribbean, I'm pretty certain that these were civilian boats that were not participating in any form of illegal activity to begin with. I'm pretty certain that but that's just my personal opinion. I haven't until there is significant evidence to assert these ridiculous claims. I'm going to keep treating them as that ridiculous claims and an excuse to blow smoke and try and escalate an unnecessary war with another country.
How do you feel like they can justify if this is about the whole drug running or cartels or whatever it is they're blaming this on? How do you feel they justify just pardoning Honduran President Hernandez?
They really don't care because as far as Honduran president is concerned, Honduras president is concerned, he's providing Trump with a material benefit. The people of Venezuela are withholding a material benefit to Donald Trump, which is their oil reserves.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say, is it about oil? Yeah, yeah.
of course, it's always about oil. For goodness sake, over here. Um, yeah, no, it's legitimately revolting. And yeah, we can make arguments about how Nicolas Maduro has been running his government. We can make these arguments and we can have this sort of issues, but you're not going to be able to do anything about it because guess what, they're not part of our country.
Mm,
If something happens, that is on them. It is the people's responsibility over there, just as it is our own responsibility here in the US to deal with their own government. If there is a request from the people for outside intervention, it would have to usually go through the United States, wouldn't it? It would rather the United Nations, I meant to say.
mm.
But I don't see that happening anytime soon. We can have these. We can have all this nonsense of setting up blockades, setting up embargoes, trying to harass the importers and exporters that try to maneuver through to that country. You can have that argument, but those arguments have to be based on factual evidence. They have to be based on something that that you can show and that you can prove. And so far, these guys haven't in the Trump administration have not been interested in showing any kind of proof. They're just basically saying "F you, I do what I want."
When is it gonna be enough?
It's
What,
never
what
enough. It's never enough for this guy. You have to understand, Donald Trump is the type of person who, no matter how much affection and praise and adulation he receives, it will never be enough. He is, from my layman's perspective, psychologically disturbed and broken to the point where nothing will satisfy him. That is why he partook in the activities in which he's listed on the E list, on
Mhm,
the E files.
mhm,
We know what I'm talking about there.
mhm.
That is why he participates in just the most crass and vulgar uh, forms of vices any person can partake in their lives. That is why he treats people like disposable
Mm.
assets and not like human beings with lives and hearts and souls of their own and minds of their own. He doesn't treat people like people. He treats them like cattle because as long as he is satisfied, nothing else matters. It's never going to be enough for this kind of guy.
I am in complete agreement with you. And I see your point, absolutely, but which I already know. So, which,
Yeah, I'm
what,
sorry. I'm preaching to the
what
choir,
about
but like I'm
enough?
also
No, but I mean, what about when is it going to be enough to get him out? Like, when is it going to be enough for the courts for whoever
we
can get him out of there?
we need a we need a successful vote for impeachment, and we need it now. Congress, the House, the Senate has to vote to impeach him immediately. If it wasn't for the illegal attack against Iran, then it should definitely be for the illegal attack against Venezuela. Assuming we are the ones responsible for it, then it needs to be held to account, and he needs to be impeached right this second. Unfortunately, we've got a House of Representatives full of kowtowing, tiptoeing BS mongers. I hope you'll pardon me. I am working very hard to monitor my language here, but truthfully, it's the last time there was even a an unofficial vote, just that was pulled up by
Mhm,
Representative Al Green. We've had
mhm,
Democrats who would vote against impeachment. We also had Democrats who just voted present. For example, my opponent over here, Representative Kathy Castro of Florida's 14th district, she just voted present in on the last call for impeachment against Donald Trump. That was put out by Representative Al Green. I talked about that at length. I showed people her voting record, which speaks for itself. On the two times in 2025 where she had the option to show people that she is a principled member of the legislature, that she is willing and ready to stand up for the heart of the American people, she did nothing.
mm.
And I'm sorry to bring it back to my campaign on this stuff. I'm not
No,
trying
no.
to bogart this, but this is just an example of, like, if we have people in the House and in the Senate who are unwilling to step up, then what the hell kind of government do we have?
Exactly. Exactly. Is there a way we can persuade? What could we do? Anything? Anything to push this?
We need to get on social media right now, everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Snapchat. Everyone and their mother, tell people about the attacks in Venezuela.
Mm,
Tell people to speak to Congress now. We need to be mobilized on social media. We need to be mobilized in person. If you know people in your city or in your area who normally try to organize protests, folks who are involved in the No King's Day protests,
mhm,
get in touch with them. Try to reach out to someone. There are plenty of different factions in people's towns and people's cities who are willing and ready to step up and mobilize and call for a protest. I don't know who specifically for any one particular person's area, but I know for a fact that if you are in contact with any sort of organization, whether they be a political organization or simply a an interest group for advocating against war, then please reach out to them. Ask them, hey, is there any sort of protest or any sort of action happening in person in response to the attack on Venezuela?
mm,
We can't, like, the only reason why we wouldn't be mobilizing right this second is because right now we do not have confirmation that the US
mm.
government is in fact behind this, but we
True.
have to hold our government to account. Like, if you're not behind this, you better be freaking condemning this.
Yeah.
You'd better be getting ready to set up humanitarian aid, and not none of this BS of trying to backdoor any CIA nonsense going on in the background. I mean, genuine humanitarian aid. Get in touch with MSF. Get in touch with the American Blue Cross. Get in touch with these different organizations who are set up as humanitarian aid, and you throw whatever money you need to so that they can go and help the folks in Venezuela. Because if these seven attacks, if these seven buildings being destroyed is just the first wave, I cannot begin to imagine what the hell comes next.
Yeah. I am seeing reports that U.S. They're saying the U.S. has launched the military strikes on Venezuela. Um, but and then I'm seeing other ones that say the U.S. has not owned up to this yet. So I mean, do you think they will? How do you hide something like this?
You can't hide something like this. It's at this point it would just be a matter of you're basically going to have to get Maduro in front of every camera on Earth and have
Mhm.
him pull out wreckage of a drone with our flag right on it with a serial number that can be like confirmed to be part of our armed arsenal. That's the like there would not be any other way to prove it unless there's other kind of reconnaissance or other surveillance that can be tapped into, that can be cross-referenced by other agencies. um it would have to be something, and it would have to be something concrete that can't be denied, that can't be faked, that can't be made up.
Now, I'm just reading a Venezuelan opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado. Have you
Hmm.
heard? Yeah, she is absolutely supportive of Trump, and she states they are very grateful to him and to his administration because I believe he is a champion of freedom in this hemisphere. That's a quote. Um, and it says the president's strategy was limited to attacks on suspected drug boats, the seizure of an oil tanker, and economic and diplomatic pressure, but not land strikes. She would welcome the U.S. military action in Venezuela.
With a smile on her face. And she was the lady who won the Nobel Prize last year, who was awarded the Nobel Prize. And
Oh,
because,
wow.
yep, and go flip and figure, she goes ahead and turns around and
Makes one up for Trump.
no, and
Oh,
throws heap and praise on Donald Trump,
oh,
even though he's done jack and squat
yeah.
over anything regarding humanitarian aid.
We're
The
keeping the
most aid,
peace.
yeah, no, the most aid or the most peace that he's ever freaking provided was anytime he's asleep. That's the
Oh,
most peace of mind that anyone can ever hope for.
oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm just worried about where we're going from here. What's this going to lead to? I mean, does this mean war? Does this what does this mean?
Oh, we're never at war. Oh, we're never at war. Haven't you forgotten? This is
Oh,
just just another branch against just another chapter in the global war on terror. We got to
yeah.
keep these small operations down to these tiny conflict levels. We're not at war. We're not really at war. That would
Yeah, and there's
require
no
congressional
problems.
approval, and
Everything's
there's
fine.
everything is fine. There is no war in Bossing Say. There's no war going on here.
Well,
That's
contrary
a.
to what he would tell us, yeah, this is not looking good for us. And
By the way, folks, that was sarcasm,
yeah,
just in case you can't tell.
if you were not aware. So, yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on this. We're going to have to get the story out. Like you said, we'll get the word out. So let's hit the airwaves. Let's hit the social media and see what we can do. See if we can put some pressure on
Yes,
whoever we need to put pressure on.
get in touch with your members in Congress, and
Yeah.
double check, and also make sure that you find members in Congress who are directly involved in military oversight in any
Okay.
of those committees for it. Look for them and tag them too, even if
Okay.
they're not your own congressman. Make sure that and everyone and anyone who's got any sort of involvement in the government, specifically also in military action, you
Yeah.
tag them, you send it to them. If you know someone who's in the armed forces, you send it to these people and let them know we are sick of the BS.
Yeah.
We're not going to put we're not going to put our nation through another 20-year long forever war over resources and trying to claim we're doing it in the name of freedom against terrorism and stuff. It's like, no, we heard that joke once before, and it wasn't funny the first time.
Yeah. Over billionaire power grabs.
Exactly.
We're not here for it. So yeah, Mr. Juan Rouse, thank you so much for this update on this egregious situation. That's it's just I can't even wrap my head around it right now. So I wanted to get on here and talk to somebody about it that is in there. And you are a candidate, a congressional candidate in Florida District
14.
14. You will hear his interview later on, coming up around January, February, early February. I'll keep you updated, but please subscribe to make sure you don't miss it. And thank you so much for being here. And we're gonna have to
Yeah.
keep an eye on this.
Yeah, definitely, Stephanie. We're gonna be keeping our eyes on this, and I'm gonna see, unfortunately, how this is gonna unfold, and just hope for the best, and hope for the best, and prepare for the worst.
That's all we can do right now.
Right.
All right. Well, everybody, get on there, get on social media, and get this out. Thank you so much. This is from Dirt We Grows. Until next time.